Maniacs, welcome back to the channel. Your local bedhead here. We are going to be watching a video that everybody has been really wanting me to watch, and that is Juicy's video, Juicy Fruit Snacks video. I think it's either Juicy Fruit Snacks or Big Juicy. What really happened with Sam and Colby? By himself, straight jacket and everything. Pretty scary overall. Now, I've already said kind of my opinion on the matter. I'm not sure if anything, truly paranormal happened, but I will say that to be in that situation, to be like in the basement of this place and by yourself and while everybody's off in another building, it would definitely make your mind play tricks on you. He's in the pitch black. Equipment's going off. It's just an overall really scary situation to be in, and I think anybody's paranoia would kick in immediately. It wouldn't even be just a little bit. It would be immediately. Even he said in the video that he was ready just to do whatever he could just to get out of there, like crawl up the stairs if he had to. Crazy, crazy. So we're gonna go ahead and hear what he has to say, of course. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, go support the original video. Make sure you do that. It's one of the first things I always recommend everybody doing. Give me 1 sec. Certainly something I recommend everybody doing, and we're going to go ahead and dive into the video, and I'll give you guys my thoughts during and, of course, after the video. Pretty big fan of Juicy, too, to be honest. Really big fan of him. He's growing on me a lot.
The cellar is the oldest part of the asylum. Paranormal manifestations down here include hearing deep growling, whispers, and then people experiencing physical attacks. So tonight, we're going to be sending somebody down there alone for the single worst punishment in Sam and Colby history.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
What's up, little fellas? Today we are going to be talking about the Sam and Colby incident of 2024 that I had. What we're going to be talking about is, of course, what happened in the asylum video that we did with them that they just released on their channel. Go and watch their video first and foremost, because we're not going to be sitting, Asmongold style, putting on Lord of the Rings on stream, sitting for an hour and a half and watching the whole thing, okay? But I will be giving you tons of backstory and context around everything that happened. We're gonna go through the
Ironically, that's what I'm gonna be doing here. I'm gonna be watching the full thing and just giving my commentary. Please.
Whole video and react to the relevant things. But the big kicker today is I've never seen this footage. What happened to me on that shoot was so disturbing and fucking weirded me out so much that night when Sam and Colby were like, dude, do you want to see it? I just was like, no, I can't. I don't want to watch it. So I haven't seen the footage. So without further ado, let's get into the spooky.
Why would you need to see it though? You were in it. You were the one in it, man.
What's up, guys? It's Sam and Colby.
Today we're going to be investigating.
So that's Sam and Colby. And it's Beechworth Mental Asylum in Australia. Over 9,000 people died under the most brutal circumstances. Let's get back to the video, though.
Many people believe that there's a darker energy here. Oh my god, nerd! As I was saying, many people believe that there's a darker energy here and possibly a demonic child inside. And they hardly let anybody investigate this spot, so we have no idea what we're about to encounter. Arr, arr, arr.
And tonight, once again, we are joined by the boys.
Yeah! Oh, they're not excited.
We might have traumatized them on our last rundown.
So when we did these videos, like, not back to back, but obviously, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but YouTubers film things in blocks sometimes. Not everybody, it doesn't make much sense to fly across the world, to divert your whole life. Underwater basket weaving classes, all of it, your jiu-jitsu, your whatever the f you do, your model airplane business. It doesn't make sense to fly across the world and then film one video. If you're gonna fly across the world,
no, you gotta have like 20 videos planned and ready to shoot, film, and that's when you go back and you start editing and putting stuff together.
Basically, a bunch of people, you got your crew, you're gonna film a couple things. So we had filmed that previous video that they talked about. Go and watch it if you haven't seen it. We had a crazy experience at that jail too. And when we got here, I was like, can't be that bad. Can't be crazier than what happened before.
We're back, baby! But it's gonna get worse. We just thought that last time started off so hot that we would, do something like that again.
So hot? What's that mean?
Are we playing hide and seek again? We're playing something a little different and a little bit higher stakes. I'm scared.
Why does Sam always deliver the bad news? Because I'm the nice guy.
Remember Colby saying I'm the nice guy. Remember that.
At the end of the video, the loser's gonna have like the worst punishment we might have ever made a guest do ever.
Look at my face. Look at my fucking face there. I already knew I was marked for death.
Punishment we've ever experienced.
Shoot us?
Right now.
That was weird, wasn't it? How he like pointed you out directly, like saying that that's him. He's gonna lose this. How the fuck did he know? Maybe he's more of an empath and he taps into that shit more than I thought.
I kind of wish that that is what the stakes were.
I'm going. I'm the first one in the scary building. Shit!
Yeah, that's the really bad part of the whole thing.
Every place is an open space around here, so I think I'm just gonna hide right here. It's in the corner. This is the best I can do, okay?
I want to say, Colby, fucking diabolical spot.
3, 2, 1, go.
I forget.
Narrator, like, he puts himself in the mood, man. He gets himself in that mode. He has to, like, lean down and then throw himself into the building.
Narrator's fingerless gloves fucking throw me for a loop. Oh my god, I forgot about those.
Ow! There's a step.
God, they're coming. This is f***ing scary.
Holy shit, this place is huge.
Colby, please, I don't want to lose this fucking challenge, man!
There's no way that's him, right?
Colby. Where are you, fella?
Honestly, that would have been pretty genius. To actually, like, maybe take one of the mannequins, set it on the floor underneath the bed, and just pretend to be a mannequin under a blanket or something. That would have been pretty smart.
I walked past him so many times! I was on the other side of the fucking window!
Kind of Looney Tunes ass.
Oh, I think I noticed that too. Yeah, I noticed that he was pretty fucking close. I'm pretty sure. He had just gone a little farther.
This react video. That fucking door. I went to open it. It's okay. Wait. So you know doors like they go like this. They like open like that. I went to open up this door and it opened like this, but it was a full size door and it looked like a normal door. But you pushed the bottom and it just flapped up. Like it's
like a garage?
Crazy.
Do you see him? Do you see him, Joey? Who's gonna get it first? Okay, Juicy. I think Juicy's on your head.
It's just us. Why is it always us, dude?
Why is this happening? I've looked in this kitchen 5 times.
Yep. That's the moment you got defeated.
You guys can't make me do it.
All right.
This is.
You guys are shoot me or something? No, we don't tell you until the end of the video.
We're not going to tell the audience, we're not going to tell you guys, but at the very end of this video, it will be the worst punishment in Santa Colby.
This is like the timeline diverging right here. Like that was when the timeline went. Sam and Colby trauma Juicy, and which is the one you got now, and then the Juicy that never will be, you know?
What happened behind these walls were some of the most f***ed up things that we've ever seen or heard in our entire careers.
This place was not meant to cure the patients. It was meant to separate them from society. At the time, mental health was poorly understood, and many believed that those suffering were demonically possessed. They even subjected them to exorcisms. Some weren't even suffering from illness. All that was required was 2 signatures to send someone on a one-way trip to the asylum. For example, if you were to be blackout drunk and couldn't answer a policeman's questions, you could easily end up at this asylum.
We would be f***ed.
So in reference to all of that, like all the things that you can be institutionalized for back then, like we've gone to a lot of these places, obviously, and actually been able to look in person at like a real old ledger of a list of things that people could be institutionalized for. And just to name a few that weren't said there that are fucking insane. Widowed. Yeah. You get widowed, your fucking husband dies in the war. They're like, damn, that's really sad.
So I guess they would, well, I mean, isn't like depression? Yeah, depression would get you in there too. So like they'd probably assume that this widow was depressed as fuck. So they decided, hey, it's probably best that you come here and we'll help your ass.
Get in the box. Get in the loony bin. We've talked about this. We've talked about this in some Boys Haunted videos, but just not speaking English, being chilling, get in the ward. Like, it's crazy.
G'day guys, my name is Tyson. I am a tour guide and also a paranormal investigator here at the Beechworth Lunatic Asylum.
Tyson was the best tour guide that I've ever dealt with.
He seemed like a really nice dude. Seemed like he was really wanting to get involved with you guys and be cool and shit. He seemed nice, you know?
In my life. I love him. I'm in love with Tyson.
In our grand theater.
The Peugeot Theater was originally a recreation hall where events and musicals...
I remember the scene where like you all are like trying to drop your merch and he goes and says like asylum merch. Pretty badass. You're standing between two juggernauts of YouTube and you still had the audacity, the courage to drop your merch.
Performances were held, but today the stage area is one of the most active and dark parts of the asylum. Some people believe that there's an entity living underneath the stage.
There's one guy here that he's sort of the big energy of the room, if that makes sense. He tends to hang out on the stage, specifically behind the curtains and stuff like that.
Can we go up to the stage?
We can go up there and have a look if you're game enough.
We'll just look at it.
Game enough. I'm game enough.
He really tends to show up when you're alone because he doesn't like big groups.
That's interesting. Why are you looking at me, dude? Juicy.
Every bad thing, the entire time from the beginning of this video to the end, every single bad thing that happened, Colby would just give me this look, right? Because Colby holds the camera a lot. He would just be...
You know what's crazy?
Constantly, Tyson would be like, and in here is the fire serpent demon, Timorpheus. 14 confirmed kills this week. And he lives in that room. And Colby would just... I just realized I'm not hiding my mouse. Hey, this is my job.
Over 3,000 lives were lost in this building, and that's a third of the total number.
Where are you looking at? Colby like some fucking cartoon supervillain just laughing at me.
And if patients didn't cooperate, they would be thrown in straitjackets or literal cages. You can even see the nail and tooth marks on the doors from people desperately trying to escape. 1 in 3 patients ended up dying here, resulting in 9,000 recorded deaths in the asylum. And with the death records destroyed, most of these people would be forgotten forever.
The death records destroyed thing is something that isn't like wildly prevalent, but is a thing. If you look into it, we've encountered a few places like this. Due to the
you guys have covered a couple places that have had the records completely just wiped out. Look at that. I'm not hiding my mouse too. But yeah, no, you guys have covered a couple of those places, and that shit is always like terrifying. I think that's so scary because obviously they wanted them removed because they knew what they had was like some of the most inhumane shit you probably would ever hear about, and they definitely didn't want like their names being like thrown into the mix and fucking getting laid out there like how evil some people were.
Nature of, I mean, you can look at these institutions, we'll just call them institutions. Due to the nature of these institutions, they wanted to destroy the records. A lot of them will report that the records were lost in a fire, some tragedy happens, and then they're lost. You know these people. I would assume that the leaders of these institutions at the times that they're closing made sure to dispose of those records. You feel me? I mean, I think
history has shown that so much, you'd be kind of silly not to like look at it that way. Yeah, you know how many times this has happened throughout the course of history where people just, oh, it's unfortunate, the records were kind of lost in a fire, or, you know, a flood happened in the basement, all the records were completely ruined and we had to throw them all out. Something like that, and it's like, okay, how coincidental, right? How convenient for you to have all the records removed and destroyed.
These asylums, some of them were a place, and there's people who genuinely wanted to give these people a place to, you know, be safe, a safe environment, away from the world, for better or for worse. I think there was some places where that's where they wanted to do. A lot of these places, it seems like, though, in my opinion, was an advantageous opportunity for doctors at the time and people to just fuck around, doing goofy experiments on people, because these people are what society deemed at those times as undesirables, which is...
Yeah, but no one's gonna believe anybody who's in one of these institutes. So they could do whatever they want. And even if they, like, even if these patients were telling people, like the police or anything, that this is what they're doing, they could cover it up so easily. Oh, that's just a story he's been going with. Nobody here is that cruel or evil. Trust me. He's just been unfortunately suffering. He really wants to desperately get out of here, but we're making serious progress. And the things like that they'll say to, like, people who are trying to get involved to try to help these people, they'll say things like that, and then, you know, they'll take their word for it because they're doctors, they're professionals, they know what they're doing. And to them, you know, these are just wacky lunatics and crazy people. And yeah, we can't take a word that you can't trust them. And unfortunately, it seems like a lot of these people truly suffer trying to maybe even get help in certain situations, and nobody would believe them. So that's how sick and deranged these places are. That's why most of these places are closed down and shut down and will never be opened again, rightfully so.
Obviously f***ed up, but they literally erected institutions to keep them away from the world, okay? That's the reality. Why is Eddie wet?
And the doctors believed that they were helping the patients doing all this?
Yeah, absolutely. At the time, they thought they were helping. They thought they were doing the right thing, and that's how it started. A lobotomy is a really good way to subdue someone. It affects your behavior, it affects your mood, and takes almost your entire personality away. So to them, that's a great success.
Juicy, that is the punishment.
A lobotomy? No way! A free lobotomy! Free lobotomy! I don't know if you can lobotomize someone twice, though. I don't know if it would have worked if they went with lobotomy. Going back to the Yap session that I had a minute ago, though, where I was talking about, you know, the doctors taking advantage of these people. I think a lot of it does come down to, though, an incredibly poor understanding of how the brain works. That's really what it comes down to.
Hold on, real quick, just...
Yeah, because at the time, not a lot of people understood. You know, I think people were still learning about the human mind and the things that can happen. It's crazy. And yeah, my God, could you imagine if that stuff was still going on today? Like, it's so unfortunate and heartbreaking. I mean, if we're actually, you know, obviously I'm always a serious guy, and I always like to crack jokes and whatnot, but there is a serious part to it too that you got to really just try to, and it was kind of cool. I mean, I've noticed a lot of moments where Josh was actually trying to be serious. Again, I like those moments, man. I like moments when they're kind of like, you know, people are joking up too much. And then in this investigation, there was a lot of joking and whatnot, and people laughing and trying to have fun. But there was moments where, like, Josh was actually, like, trying to break that, you know, that joke or something or whatever have you, and just try to speak about what the seriousness of this place is. And I always appreciate moments like that. And I don't think a lot of people appreciate those moments. And I think those are the moments that really just kind of bring you back into the reality of the situation, you know?
This was for mentally ill children?
Correct.
Young patients, lunatics, twisted minds, that sort of thing?
Yep, so a kid could be thrown in here for autism, Down syndrome, being an orphan, any sort of mental illness that any kid will have today, they could have been locked up for back then.
Imagine getting put in an asylum for being an orphan. Like, that sucks. Like,
yeah.
You're gonna
like,
put
how could your life get any fucking worse, right? And then all of a sudden, sorry about your parents. Here, you know, we got a special place for you to go. You can talk to people just like you, and they throw you into an asylum. Oh my God. Such a miserable life to have to live. Like, oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine.
An institution for being an orphan, it just sounds like you don't want to deal with them. You're gonna put a crying, upset, heartbroken widow in the ward. Why? She kills the vibe.
Sweet.
There's like zero draft in here. The air's like stagnant.
There's no giraffes.
There's no broken windows.
It's this one.
But is there a breeze coming through there?
Probably. It needs outside, no?
There's nothing.
So this place was very, very well kept. I would say a lot more well kept than a lot of the places that we've been. All of the windows were either completely boarded up, and they were like boarded up to make sure that these places were preserved. It wasn't like boarded because the window's broken. It's like the window's not even broken, but they boarded it up anyways type shit. Drafts, things like that. Little bumps and stuff here. You can usually tell when it's wind. This place, there was no AC. We've been in places where they retrofitted the building with air conditioning, centralized air conditioning, like you would have in a Chili's or an Applebee's maybe. And it'll kick on and off and we'll be like, ugh, that's really annoying. Can you turn that off? Or like damn it, it's just the AC again. This place there wasn't.
Yeah, like you're really in the mood. Let's say you're having a conversation, what you think is a spirit, and all of a sudden AC turns on, and you just shit your pants and jump off your chair. Yeah.
Windows. Okay, there was no air conditioning. It was very, very well kept. So all of the little bumps and things like that, they really sent us for a loop. And I mean, it started kicking in even before we started investigating.
And how heavy is the door too? Like it's room heavy. Yeah.
I've never been to one of these places where the doors are not made of like solid oak. Like they're literal like 80-pound, 150-pound doors that are fucking 5 feet wide and 8 feet tall, like comically large doors. That's why when doors move or they do things they're not supposed to, or they close and shut, it fucking freaks us out so much at places like this, because even if there was wind, there's no chance it's moving that door.
Well, I will say this, and this is something I've noticed too. I've actually seen doors that are really heavy, and if the wind pushes it just right, but like pushes it in general, it picks up momentum because of how much it weighs, and it will slam shut. I've seen this in videos too, where like the door will start shutting, and then all of a sudden, because it's so heavy, it just whoom and slams because of the momentum, right, and the weight to it. So I mean, I think there's those possibilities too. In certain locations, obviously, you know, I'd have to see the door, maybe like try to push it slightly. It doesn't look like that one does it, but if like there was ever anything, I would just watch it and I'd just kind of put my hand on it and kind of start shutting it and see if it picks up momentum as it shuts, because that might startle somebody or scare the shit out of somebody, but it actually might be just the door and the weight to it.
Who's going in here later?
I'm sure nothing bad will happen down there.
Oh my God, who wants to go first?
I'll go first. You guys would never put me down there by myself.
We're right behind you, Eddie.
Yeah, just keep going, man. Really close behind.
Right behind you.
Don't even look back, Rex.
Right behind you.
It is down here. Oh shit, I just heard steps.
What?
Right next to me.
Wait,
right next to me.
for real?
I was trying to prank you guys with a big smile. Look at my skin. I just heard someone walking towards me.
Eddie is a real life ghost monitoring device. Okay, if anything spooky ever happens, he gets the most prominent goosebumps you've ever seen in your life. It should be a viable, respected form of measurement when it comes to ghost shit.
Visitors are pushed up the steps, scratched, and many will even start crying without even realizing it. Some people also believe that there's a very negative entity, unsure if it's non-human or human, who manifests by giving you physical or emotional pain. So tonight, we're going to be sending somebody down there alone for the single worst punishment in Sam and Colby history.
So you're probably wondering how I got in this situation.
If you're in here, shut the f up. We're filming a bit. But seriously, make a noise.
Did you hear that? Okay, that comes through so fucking clear. The stage that was being set for me right now, because I had already pieced it together at this point in the video that they're gonna shove me in this basement. I just didn't know the extent of it. It didn't help that when we go down there, yeah, he's like, all the worst entities on the planet gather down here for a Christmas party once a year. And Christmas used to be today in 1910. And it was non-stop noises, and not like little like noises, but it would just be like, we're all standing, all of us, everyone that is in the premises, we're standing here, tour guide's talking, it'd go quiet, and then you would just hear on solid fucking stone.
Yeah, Josh's face.
To me, it sounded like somebody like bones popping. Are you fucking serious?
Oh, that's disgusting.
What? It's investigation time. We are going to start here at the women's ward, trying to contact the most famous spirit here.
So at this point, the investigation itself begins, and we start at the women's ward. Very crazy start, okay? Again, if you haven't seen the video, then why are you watching this video? We're at the women's ward. There's just a lot happening. For those of you unfamiliar and those of you who care, this is Bug if you even fucking care. I'm going to blow her up later.
Where's the stairs? The cellar?
Are you talking about the cellar?
That's the only stairs we went down, I think.
Yeah. Oh, wait, what? This entire time I was just trying to warn us about the cellar?
Is that, could you please confirm by touching this red flashlight? Is it the cellar that we really need to be worried about in our future investigations? Is that where the negative entity is? Yes.
X. Dang, so this entire time it's like, oh no, the bull pit is fine. There's something negative that you should be afraid of, but it's not in here, and it's not been.
And again, it took a while for it to do something, like the red flashlight. You know what I mean? Like, they waited a while. The only thing that I would say that kind of makes it kind of believable is when the thing says push at the same exact time. But they waited a little too long to kind of accept that as the answer, in my personal opinion. I know they want to say it's a spirit trying to gain energy to do it, but if it's not consistent and it's not right on point, I just have a hard time trusting it. But I already have a hard time trusting the flashlight method anyways. That's just my... I just don't buy it. I think there's so many flaws to it and so many things that could easily... I mean, all you have to do is just stand there for however long you want and just say, so you used to live here. So you used to do this. So you used to do that. And then you just wait for a response. Just wait there until it does something. Then all you have to do is just cut the parts between where you wait too long and then you got it. Or fast forward through it.
Benjamin, then what are you afraid of in the basement, the cellar?
Could you give us some sort of clue using this piece of equipment right here to let us know what's in the cellar?
You can speak through this device. Oh.
Like somebody will kill you?
I haven't seen this. Oh, that is so f***ed. That's so f***ed to know.
Scared? Shot in the head? Oh my god.
Okay, that was cool because it was consistent on what it was saying. But when has it ever happened where somebody would actually die in an investigation? How often do you think that would happen? So when they try to build the suspense up like someone's gonna die, do you like? I never take it that way. Because nothing ever happens to that extent. Now it could have been a spirit trying to scare them. Of course it could be, I guess. It's just one of those things, man. I'm just kind of beginning to lean away from a little bit. Is not trying to connect everything and whatnot. And I certainly don't take like. I think it's over-exaggerated sometimes, I think is where I was getting at. I think sometimes when they're talking about certain things like this, it can be a little over-exaggerated. Like something seriously bad is going to happen when you play the freaking scary music in the background, like, oh, this is what's going to happen. You think everybody's like on the edge of their seat, like, oh my god, this is going to be the end of Juicy? Juicy's going to die down here? That's what it's hinting at?
Was there a murder in the cellar?
I'm not sure, but all I know is like the bull pit doesn't seem like it's as negative as we thought.
But I think it's leading us to a more negative area, and that would be the cellar. And that makes sense. It's literally...
Became...
Oh, it became more dark.
Maybe the bull pit was dark at one point, but now it's the cellar.
And now it's warning us. And that made sense because on the tour we heard so many noises there.
It's 12:30, so regardless, we gotta wrap this up.
So basically we do all the investigating, the splitting up, yada, yada, yada. And things are just negatively pointing towards the cellar that I was predetermined by fate itself to go down into. But to what extent, I did not know yet. Sam and Colby at this point still have not told me what they're gonna do. I feel like I've yapped quite enough, and I think I'm ready at this point to see the footage of the punishment. This is why you were here, presumably, and I'm not gonna lie, I am a bit nervous.
Before we start, I need you to wear this hat.
This is the hat you guys bought me at the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, we just figured, you know.
They did buy me okay, wait.
He actually has the hat still.
Boom, baby! You think I'd leave that hat in Australia? Are you f***ing crazy, brother? Are you crazy? Hat lore before me getting traumatized by Sam and Colby. We go to 7-Eleven, Sam and Colby, really nice dudes. They're great. I fucking love them. They're like, hey boys, it's our video, you know, just get whatever you're gonna need for the night, food, energy drinks, and like a little kid, I grabbed a bunch of Monster Zero Ultras and a protein bar. And then I grabbed this hat. Colby, please, I need the hat. And they bought it. They did buy it for me. They did buy it for me. I also walked up with a handful about this big of $500 Visa gift cards. They did not buy me.
I noticed that I noticed because your nails match the hat. Nice.
Of $500 Visa gift cards.
Come on in the middle, bro. You need some support from your boys.
Come on, Big Goosey.
All right.
You should not have lost sardines at the start of the video, man.
Sardine.
Just in case this is the last thing you ever tell him, like, what would you say as like your last words to him?
It's been a fun ride, man.
This is about to be
been
the
a fun
most
ride.
intense challenge we've ever put somebody through on the Sam and Colby channel ever. Fuck me in the ass, dude.
I mean, that's afterwards.
That's the challenge. We all get a turn, finally.
And there wasn't even any ass. Fuck. What gives?
If you make it out of this alive, I'll buy you some Dippin' Dots tomorrow and you can smell them.
Real shit.
I didn't even buy me Dipping Dots either!
What the fuck? He even spat shook, man. You gave your word. Son of a bitch. I actually thought he was gonna buy him Dippin' Dots. That sucks. That's bullshit on so many levels. You know, you should actually post an Instagram story where you guys both go to like the local market or something and you have a thing of Dippin' Dots.
That was disgusting, dude. I don't know about that.
Okay. Every single investigation tonight has led us to believe that there is something evil in the cellar.
Yes, it has.
This right here.
Oh no.
It's a straight jacket.
Oh, you're joking, dude. You're joking.
And we thought it'd be a great idea for the loser of sardines to be straitjacketed, surrounded by equipment in the cellar.
Was it not enough to shove me in the cellar? It's gonna be like fighting amnesia. I can't even defend myself.
Oh, what's worse? In pitch black.
What?
This is the worst challenge.
Is he gonna be by himself?
By himself.
Why do you know how this thing works?
I cannot exaggerate enough. I cannot exaggerate. I'm getting very worked up. I'm sorry I keep yelling, guys.
I'll try to be more quiet.
I cannot exaggerate enough. Sam and Colby, I mean, listen, they did not tell me what was gonna happen. It's not like
There's someone in there with a laser pointer. I swear to God, I'm seeing a red dot move across the floor.
I was in on it. Like this is, I lost the challenge, and just as the video plays out for you guys is how it happened, okay? This was me in the moment finding out what they were gonna do to me.
You look crazy right now, man. Where's the straitjacket from? Is it a trigger item?
It's from Coles.
Oh my god! What is going on, dude?
How does the narrator know how to do this?
Do this song. Sure,
He was in the military.
Colby DM. Holy shit.
This one's not tight enough.
Only one on my nuts.
Oh, wait, it actually goes under your legs.
Kill you.
Oh, he can't do anything to me.
Oh, hold him back. He's a mental. I'm not going in. I'm gonna bite his ear off. Can I bite his ear off?
Hey, dudes, listen, dude, that shit was tight, okay? It's like, I'm really about it, you know? If I'm gonna go in a basement, if we're gonna do something as crazy as this, of course it's actually fucking tied. Anyone who thinks that it wasn't actually tied, you probably ate rocks as a kid, but you actually still eat rocks. You're probably still eating them as an adult, as an adult or young adult, you're 1% rocks.
Wait. But don't you eat sand?
That's it. You're going to
So, we're not even gonna be in
It looks tight as fuck, though.
the same
yeah.
building.
What? Oh, really? Idiot. Oh shit. Wait, how long? It's not like us or something. What the f is you terrifying?
Just don't lose sardines, bro.
How long?
Probably like a 30-minute investigation.
What the? Wait, 30 minutes? What did we do? I'm sorry if Molly said anything offensive to you guys when we went like off camera. Well, again, why me? I'm not in the fucking straitjacket.
Alright, well, we better get started because the 30 minutes isn't gonna start itself. It's kind of because this is a trigger thing in itself.
You look good in the straitjacket. Shut the fuck up.
Didn't we hear like a million things last time we were down here?
It's okay, bro. We've always knew that you're gonna end up in this position, dude.
We take sardines very seriously, brother. It's our favorite thing.
Nobody's ever said we take sardines seriously.
Ever.
There's a devil down here.
He's gonna have plenty of quiet time. Let's just set him up. Do you think this is the craziest thing Juicy's done?
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Craziest thing
I'd rather get hit by a fucking car again.
I still fully agree with that statement 100%. Part of me is glad that this experience happened, even if it was a fucking mortifying experience, because I feel like it's an experience that not many people get to have in their lives.
No, man. That's a good way to look at it, too. Like, even if you got put in some really terrifying ass situation like this, I mean, at least you can say you did it. Like, what was the craziest thing you've ever done? Well, there was one time, me, the boys, Sam, and Colby, they all put me in a straitjacket. I sat in the basement of this asylum for 30 minutes by myself in the pitch black dark. That is, again, not something everybody can just say. So that's a good way to look at it, too. I think that's how I would look at it, also.
No, f that dog. Hit me with the car again.
Oh my god, that's actually insane.
Just so you know, dude, if we come down here and you're bleeding from your eyes, we're leaving you here. What the? Any other fucked up little tricks? Oh! No one's gonna hear you down here. What? Oh, dude, this is gonna be fucking terrifying, man. You're shaking. Why is Sam setting up fucking Christmas lights?
No. Don't pay attention.
I'm the devil. Sam said Christmas lights.
At this point, I'm goofing. It's about to happen. They're getting everything ready to abandon me. I'm goofing at this point, but I'm serious. My heart is pounding out of my chest.
Yeah.
The whole night was so active. Go and watch the video. So much happened. And I was mortified. Like, I genuinely have never been as scared.
Even I could tell in that situation, I could tell you were doing that because you genuinely were not okay with it. Deep down, you weren't. You really didn't want to do it. Obviously, you did it because, you know, for the sake of the video, you lost the challenge. You're you know, a man of your word. You did it anyways. Understandable stuff. But even I could tell, like, you were really doing that to kind of, you know, kind of make light out of this situation because you really didn't want to do it, but you knew it was coming, which is pretty insane, pretty scary stuff to think about.
As I was to do this, I've never been this scared in my life, and it hadn't even started yet.
Oh.
And then I'm just gonna put this behind him so the camera will be able to see, but he wouldn't.
When you guys are done filming, do you go back to your giant evil tower? Your giant evil tower with lightning behind it. Go back to the S&C supervillain tower. The S&C supervillain. They're going off.
Oh no.
I'm so sorry.
Subscribe to the boys.
Subscribe to the boys.
Going for it.
And you can plug your merch one time.
They're all about to get my percentage when I die.
All right.
The boys.
Yeah, they're about to get. Wait, did he say that they're about to get my percentage because I'm about to fucking die?
Hey.
I can't blink, but
You can buy these at the Boys Dot Store coming soon. It'd actually be cool for release straight check.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'll be buying those here soon, by the way. All of them.
Go to the Boys Dot Store. What the fuck? What are you doing? Also, shout out Sam and Colby. Shout out XPLR Explorer. Shout out all their shit. It's great. Boy, I love them. Lovely boys, Samantha and Colbert. I'm getting them both tattooed on my gooch on Friday.
we are going to go to the worst part of the asylum, the Shadow Man hallway.
Any ghosts out here? Go to the Shadow Man hallway. The medical ward. Go to it now.
Do you guys have like a gag or something?
Let's get started.
Yo, get the f out of here. You've done enough. Oh, thanks.
Bananas.
Yeah.
Give him a kissy.
Your nuts don't get itchy. Oh, thanks, man.
Low key, I feel like narrator out of all of them was easily like the most concerned. I have no doubt that every single one of them were concerned about him. I think they knew they were gonna be fine, but narrator always is the first one to want to go back and check on them. Have you guys noticed that? Like, out of all the boys' videos, like when Molly was down in the basement by himself during the lighthouse one, narrator was kind of pushing. I think we need to go check on Molly. I'm really kind of getting, you know, worried about him. And then for Juicy, he was like the first one down there yelling his name. Juicy, are you okay? Like, he's always the first one who's kind of like saying, you got this, don't worry about it. Like, he's definitely somebody I would literally see taking a bullet for any of the boys. Like, 100%. I just do not see him doing that. Like, he would go out of his way to, like, protect one of these guys as even if his own life was at risk. I genuinely mean that.
Narrator didn't give me a kiss on the... Okay, he did give me... I was about to start bitching. All right, I was going to say, dude puts on fingerless gloves and doesn't kiss me on the cheek when he leaves the room.
Spirits and devils down to this basement today.
Holy shit.
Sweet boy, Juicy has sacrificed.
Oh my god.
Juicy, I love you.
Good luck.
Juicy.
We'll be back.
Just don't lose sardines next time.
Oh my god, dude, you look fucking crazy, bro.
Timer starts now.
See you soon.
That was 10 out of 10, $100.
I can't hear you.
What?
Wow. If only he found me right there.
Fucking bullshit.
Okay. This is it. I gotta like hype myself up because I completely moved my camera. I gotta hype myself up for this because it's genuinely like I'm nervous to see it. And I'm gonna say beforehand, I'm not sure. I don't remember if I said it afterwards when I was explaining what happened to me, but I'm down in this basement. They're not in the building. They're not near me.
No.
I can't hear them. I can't hear any noises they're making. I can't hear them walking on the floor above. Nobody. I'm alone. I am alone and I cannot get up the stairs. Okay, the stairs are like stone cut stairs that go straight up. And we kind of figured that out going down there.
Okay, so they did think about it going down there. I literally was saying in my reaction video, I'm like, you guys realize that if something were to happen and you were to overreact and decide you wanted to fucking get out of there as soon as possible, you'd run up those stairs, and if you fell with that straitjacket on, you could break your neck so easily. On those rock cement stairs, no, that would have been a bad situation. I almost kind of think like maybe they should have like given you something, even knowing like it would have taken away the purpose of the video, that whole segment, you know, being as scared as possible, which I think a lot of, I'm not gonna lie, man, I think a lot of paranoia probably kicked in because you're in that basement by yourself. I'm not saying that, you know, the experience wasn't terrifying, because I can only imagine, even these guys knew that regardless of spirits in there, it's a terrifying situation to be in pitch black dark with a straitjacket, no one's around. It's literally a nightmare fuel situation. So it's like, I can't blame you for having as much fear about it as they built up. It makes perfect sense. But yeah, I was thinking about that too. It's like those stairs are like a death trap, especially in a straitjacket, running up them or running down them. I mean, even narrator had to hold your back while you were walking down the stairs so you didn't like accidentally fall backwards and slide down or something.
Not gonna be able to get up those very easily. And I'm just gonna say, okay, don't go. If for some reason anyone's gonna get salty at Sam and Colby for doing this, okay, it's not like they held a gun to my head.
No,
I was excited and terrified to do this. Okay, maybe I just shouldn't have lost sardines. I agree with Sam. Let's see what happens.
Not only does he have his back face towards the Shadow Man Hall, but we also have two
it's kind of ridiculous to give Sam and Colby shit for this. I mean, they're all grown men and they all kind of knew the risks. You know, it's like they all agreed upon doing something. Even if like they probably were even told, if you lose this, it's going to be bad, and they were told that at the beginning of the video. So it's not like they didn't have like an awareness that if you lose, you know, it is what it is. That's what you got to do. I mean, even Sam played, you know, so even it could have been Sam in that basement, but it just unfortunately was Juicy. It is what it is.
Equipment that will detect if anything is in fact behind him.
Anyone in the basement, I did not mean to disturb you. Sorry about my friends and my loudness.
Is there anyone there? Come and talk to us. Crazy.
Yeah, seems like a very crazy place and a lot of dark things happened here. Are you scared to be here?
Who's here with us?
Dude, you can see by how I'm moving. I'm seriously, guys, I'm fucking mortified down there.
Are we speaking to any of the dark entities that lurk this hallway?
Oh yeah, he hasn't seen this bit. I forgot he hasn't seen what they catch on the Estes method. And look, I know a lot of people are saying in the comment section, how can you like the Estes method? I just find it interesting. I just find it kind of creepy and kind of cool. Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. I'm kind of curious to try it myself, and that's what we're going to be doing in the Blair House, is the Estes method. It's an experiment, guys. It's not. I'm not saying that is 100% guaranteed a factual thing that this is exactly what it means. And for all I know, I'm probably going to be the one under the Estes method, so I'm not sure what kind of questions they're going to ask. I'll probably have to write some down for them, see what we get. But it's all just an experiment for me right now. So like that's when we start doing it. I don't want you to think everything is factual, but I will say, it's going to be there.
Running through the hallway?
We're the one.
We're the one.
Is this place still haunting you?
One, like the one devil you guys were talking about?
Hell? We have a friend that's alone in the basement in the building next to us. Is he safe?
Pain? Oh.
Is he in pain?
Or do you wish to cause him pain?
They were obviously in pain. This would be helpful for a lot of people. You're learning.
Dude, there's so much going on down here. This is so bad. It's taking every ounce of my willpower to be sitting here right now.
Time by standing alone.
Time by
Juicy's alone.
alone. Yeah, he has a certain amount of time. He's in there.
That's fucking weird.
Right now, 13 more minutes.
Is Juicy okay? Is he safe? Is there anyone down there with him? No, he's not.
No,
dude, come on. God damn it! I wasn't.
Oh. see him? Oh, wait. This person can see him at the same time?
Oh, there's no way. Could you do that again? What you're doing right now?
Dude, this shit. Okay, I have never had an experience like this. I'm down there and I'm like this, and I'm serious. There's no delay. There's no waiting. I'm just asking, and it's responding, and the EMF is like maxing out. It's completely maxes out. I'm like, can you do that again? Maxes out. Like, it was so hard for me to even talk, but obviously, like, I make videos for a living. Like, I'm trying to make something entertaining. I need to ask questions. I gotta do it right. Can't just clam up. But it was genuinely really, really hard. I was so scared I could barely talk.
Today in Australia.
Maybe, like, now?
Electric.
Dude, that hasn't gone on for 15 minutes.
It hasn't gone on all night, dude.
Can you be in multiple places at once?
Next.
I swear I just heard something behind me.
Dude, it's pitch black down there, guys. They took the lights.
I just looked over there and the REM pod went off.
They said, sadly, there wasn't a camera on this REM pod, but the REM pod was in the threshold, and it didn't really go off at all. So you see, I do this, and when I turn my head like this, I'm looking to the cells. I'm looking to the cells off to the side, but that corner there is that's where the bad shit happened. Like that. This is the corner that I couldn't bring myself to actually look at the whole time.
Do you want Juicy to feel the same pain that you did?
You understand me?
I hate
you want
that.
people to understand you by making them feel the pain that you felt.
Oh my god, dude. Should I burn this hat?
I don't care.
Are you trying to cause him
Could it be
pain right
attached?
now?
Juicy is in the dark.
Oh, he is. He's in pitch black.
My heart is beating out of my chest. There's so many horrible fucking noises down here. No fucking way. I felt something touch my arm.
Can you tell us your name?
Respect.
Do you control a lot of the things that happen here?
Crying.
So
I'm actually curious to know, out of you guys in the comment section, tell me, do you think paranoia played a huge part in this? Like, I have no doubt that Juicy was obviously freaking out over something, and there really could have been something paranormal going on down there. All the equipment was going off, but again, they kind of built it up. Do you know what I mean? Like, this was built up from the beginning of the investigation all the way till the end, until he had to finally go down to the basement with a straitjacket, finally learning that he is going to be going down there by himself while they're off in another building. Do you think that could have gotten to his head at the same time? Like, all of this build-up could have gotten to his head. And I'm not trying to say that, that obviously is what's happening, but I do believe that it definitely can play a huge part in, like, everything that's going on. I've talked about this many times, like, whether it's debris falling from the ceiling or even, like, a noise coming out of any sort of equipment or whatever have you, or anything that could be in the building whatsoever, might be amplified because of how much he's already scared being down there. And then the equipment being around him and going off doesn't help either. Like the REM pod and the light strips and the thing that he has on his chest, the EMF reader. Like, all this stuff is playing into the mind a little bit, and it's making him think that shit's going on, right? I mean, I've been in situations like this too, where I'm in the pitch black dark and I'm thinking I hear stuff around me, when in reality it's just me kind of overthinking everything. Like, this is a real thing, you know, and that can really happen. But I'm not saying it's not paranormal. I don't want anybody to get that idea. I'm not saying it is paranormal, but there wasn't a whole lot in that, episode that really made me think that it was all paranormal, The door shutting and stuff was interesting and whatnot. This was actually a scary situation for Juicy. I have no doubt about that. I'm not denying anything that he's saying, that and why he was so scared. Obviously, I could see he was scared as shit, but I do think that there is some things that should be brought up and mentioned, at least, just to be mentioned. It's not like I'm saying this as a fact, like, oh, this is exactly what what was happening, and this is, the reality of what was going on. I don't know. I wasn't in the situation. I'm not in the basement with this guy, so I don't know what he was hearing off into the distance and whatnot. And maybe if I was there, maybe I would have heard this stuff. But for right now, it's just kind of like, it just does come off to me like this was built up so much that of course you were freaked out. Of course you were scared going down there. And when you had to finally sit down there, all this shit started really coming to you,
At that point, when I felt something touch my arm, I had already been hearing stuff. The EMF was literally like going off on demand. I would be like, hey, touch this thing. It'd go off and then stop. And then it would just I'm like, fuck me in the ass. I look at the REM pod, hasn't gone off. Look at it for a second, and then it would just go, stop. I'd be like, but at that point when I feel like when I felt like something touched me, when something touched me was when in my head I started to be like, okay, I'm really, really scared. But now I'm getting really uncomfortable now.
Trying or crying?
Trying. Are we talking to the shadow figure that lives in this hall?
I saw him.
I saw him, but maybe we're both here. Whoa! There's multiple. So someone who was wanted and the person they saw the shadow figure. So it's two different things here.
Night shift. Coming towards.
Are you coming towards us or coming towards Juicy?
That was you. Did you interact?
See,
It was.
dude.
Oh my god.
This is why it was so fucking scary, guys, because this isn't cut for like video effect or just to keep the video moving. This isn't like cut to be like, is anyone here? And then you cut out the, I don't know, a couple 5 seconds. It's just.
What's your intention by bringing people here?
I want now.
How do you plan to get out? Are you just here to scare us? Or are you just here to scare Juicy?
Down.
Yes, he's down.
Down. He's down there. Have you already scared him, or are you planning on it?
We're all there.
Oh my god, dude, what? What the fuck was that?
Is that
All at once.
Do you want the other people are afraid of?
Man, this is hard to watch. This is hard to watch because this is such a scary experience for me.
Now.
Here, there's constant heavy footsteps to the left. I swear to you.
Human?
Feels like it.
feels like it.
Oh god, dude, that's such a nasty answer. Are you human? Feels like it. That is like a cheeky little demon response right there. And of course they told me about all of this stuff.
That's like Pennywise vibes. You know, Pennywise, a creature who is impersonating a person, and even then, like, his monstrous side would come out even occasionally. Yeah, very creepy.
They were
It was
doing this
creepy.
investigation at the same time I was in the basement. But obviously all I did was hear about it. I didn't actually get to see it until now. And I'm not seeing any of this until now.
That's an insane, like, instant
Over here, like a dark voice.
Oh.
Just among which one?
Shit. I feel bad for Juicy. Maybe we should go back.
Worse.
Worse?
Worse.
Worse than the devil?
Really can't wait for those boys to come back.
Alone.
Again with the alarm.
Did he say that again?
Do it twice.
Yeah, there's definitely something about Juicy.
It's so weird that like Juicy's alone and every response has been something to do with the situation that he's in.
Yeah.
I just want everyone to feel the same pain they felt.
Bones would just do it. I get that.
Because society them over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They heard him.
If you mean well, could you please touch this device on my chest? It's right here between my arms.
Fuck you!
Okay, good. If you mean well, can you further confirm it by touching the red light in the archway?
This if you mean well part was so pivotal for me.
Your intention. Well, come back to your cell. There's cells in the cellar.
Die.
What?
So they want us to go back because they think he's a drug?
Calling him.
Does that mean calling someone to the cellar? Either calling someone
Dark and alley.
Like that?
Terrifying noise. There's something behind me.
Dude, okay.
Just touched my I'm this close to calling out.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm gonna level with you. Okay. Was I actually hearing whispers over my shoulder? Yes, I fucking was. And I'm sitting there in this chair And I do not feel like what's down there means me well at this point. I feel very, very intimidated. I feel very intimidated, and over my right shoulder, that corner that I just couldn't bring myself to actually look at the whole time. Not when I turn around the other way. I would look at the cells, but I couldn't look all the way back over into that corner.
Yeah.
That is where I heard those whispers coming from. Okay, that is where I heard it. And in this moment when my ankle got touched, this is when I started going through my head of like, okay, maybe I need to get out of here. Maybe I shouldn't wait for them to get back. I need to start figuring out what I'm gonna do next if anything gets worse. That was my genuine thoughts at the moment. At this point, I was full body shaking, sweating, and I was going through it in my head like, I'm straight jacketed. How the fuck am I getting out?
What's happening to Juicy right now? Trouble?
What the It's pain, trouble, and pain? Guys, come on. What the fuck?
I'm getting worried for Juicy, bro. My firefly's drinking up.
And they start running.
We're coming, Juicy! Sorry. Come on, Juicy! He's gonna make it.
Juicy?
Yo!
Juicy!
Okay, before we get to the rescue, I want to talk more about what it was like to be down there. Up until the point of my shoulder being grabbed at, and it was my right shoulder towards that corner that I just couldn't look at. That is what got grabbed at. It's like something it wasn't really like a yank or anything. It felt like someone kind of like just a little nab on the shoulder, like, hey, look at me. Like, pay attention to me, I'm right here. And that corner is where I also was hearing these whispers, and it wasn't like I heard it once and then it stopped and I sat there scared. It was constant. And once it started, it just kept fucking going, dude. It kept going. Like constant, like, and eventually these like whispers in the corner turned into, it got a bit more, it was more than whispering. It was like I was being like hush talked at by this thing in this corner, and I felt threatened most of the, if not the entire time I was down there, and I felt more and more threatened and intimidated while I was down there, and I feel like something was trying to intimidate me. And these whispers went from like a and I was really close, guys, like genuinely close. This is the scariest experience of my life. You can see it. I feel like you can see it on my face in the video. And this is completely true. I did not feel comfortable telling them what happened in the cellar because I did feel intimidated. Like, I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to acknowledge whatever thing was in the corner. That was how I felt. I didn't want it to get that from me.
Literally my jaw shaking when I breathed. I was sitting there and I felt this on my shoulder, like that, like a quick pinch. I kept hearing breathing, like heavy breathing, and then the REM pod went off. My threshold for getting out of there was pretty high, and I was about to just figure out a way to go the f up the stairs.
When you stood up, you were really pale.
I felt literally too scared to even acknowledge him. If you boys wouldn't have came down in like the next couple minutes, I was gonna get out of there. However, crawling up stairs or whatever it was, because whatever it was getting more, it felt like it was getting more comfortable with me. I don't think I've ever felt that threatened ever by anything in any of our videos. Nothing about it felt friendly.
What you were saying is exactly what he was feeling.
Yeah.
And we were buildings apart.
This loud breathing that I mentioned here
Was the whispering?
Preceded this whispering. This is it's so crazy to talk about and to see this footage, man, because this was genuinely such a like shaking experience. This breathing, it came before the whispering, and the breathing it all came from that corner. This is the corner. This is the corner next to this pillar. This is where...
Dude, you guys should have done an investigation over there. Like, in that corner, more like... I would have loved to have seen more of an investigation in that corner, because you did say, yeah, that was the corner that everything was going down in, so... I would love to have seen, like, a deep dive into it. Honestly, next time you guys go back, you should definitely try to focus more on that corner.
I kept hearing everything that I heard. That was the scariest part about this for me, is that it really felt like that this thing down there, it felt like it was backed to the corner and it was watching me and trying to get my attention, and it fucking wanted me to play its fucking game or whatever it was. It feels like it really just wanted my attention. Like, it wanted more than anything for me to acknowledge it and divulge into whatever little fucking game it wanted to play or whatever it wanted to do to me. And it's genuinely, this basement, it was like That was the longest 30 minutes of my life. It felt like I was down there for hours. And I mean, I was just to show you, and just to show you guys also, this wasn't for show. Like, I do not fake.
Well, that's the thing, man. I never thought you would have faked it anyways. I just assumed, like, and maybe this is, you know, again, my personal view of it is I do think paranoia was kicking in at the same time. Like, I understand, like, there could have been something 100% paranormal going on. I would not doubt it one bit. But I do think it was built up the entire time. The fear of having to do this challenge. I mean, even they didn't want to tell you until the end. So that was probably constantly on your mind the entire fucking investigation. What's going to be this challenge? And finally, when you got told it, it just hit you that this is going to be a terrifying experience. I definitely think that maybe there was some paranoia playing in there, if I had to guess, because fear can do crazy shit. And I do think that was in there for sure. But I'm not going to just throw your possible experiences to the side and say that nothing was paranormal. It was all just in your head. I just don't know. So I do think that the fear was absolutely 100% real. Like, I have no doubt in my mind.
Anything. This was not for show. That night, I carried my mattress to Josh's room in the hotel, and so did Eddie. And we laid all of our mattresses on the ground and all slept in one fucking room like a big sleepover because we were all too scared to sleep alone. That's how fucking shaken I was by this. I literally had to sleep. I had to bed up with the homies because I could not have slept in my own bed by myself that night. Fucking mortified, dude. The straight jacket when they pulled me out was wet. It was actually fucking wet. Molly grabs me at one point. I don't think it was on camera, and he's like, "Dude, you're soaked," and it's not hot. It's not hot at all. I'm not sitting there sweating because it's hot. It's literally I was cold sweating because I was so fucking scared, dude.
Right, but everybody else was kind of wet too, if I noticed. I even saw some wet spots on the tour guide as well. And then you said Eddie was also wet. Remember earlier? So it doesn't seem like it was a rare thing. It seems like everybody was kind of getting wet there. At least from I noticed a couple people actually like looking like they were sweating or something.
Thank you, Sam and Colby, for traumatizing me. I'm gonna get a bumper sticker that says that. And I am really, really grateful for the experience, but I wish that there was a way that I could like put how I feel onto like a USB drive, and then you could stick it in your head, download it, and be like, oh, because it just cannot express to you guys how scary this was, it wasn't even scary, it was mortifying, it was terrifying. It was really a one-of-a-kind experience. I've never had an experience like this, and thank you, Sam and Colby, for doing it to me, you fucking sick bastards. Between the devices going off how they did, the grabbing on my shoulder, the ankle, hearing this whisper in this corner build and build from breathing to a whisper to like almost this like hushed talking at me, like it just really was a moving experience in the most fucked up kind of way.
Yeah.
And I will truly never fucking forget it. Sam and Colby, I challenge you, next time we do a video together, come up with something worse. Come up with the scarier challenge, okay? But yeah, that was really what I had to say about the Sam and Colby video and my fucking experience and my real-time first reaction to all this. It's fucking insane seeing Colby say these things while I'm buildings away that are directly applicable to the situation that I was in the basement, what was going on nonstop, him just like building this horrific scene. I really do want to thank Sam and Colby for having us out for these videos. Like 10 out of 10 people, all right? Like genuinely lovely people. I had an amazing time with them, hanging out with them in Australia, filming, not filming. They even came to Sydney, and me, Sam and Colby and Liv drove around and hiked and did all kinds of fun stuff, and just some lovely people. Lovely people. Or they're not putting you in a straight jacket. I got fucking chills. I got chills, dude. There it is. Holy fuck. What an experience, dude. Thank you guys for watching, and while you're here, you know, if you're coming from Sam and Colby, or if you're a longtime supporter, go check out some other stuff while you're here. If you want. You got time for a little
yeah,
old
man.
me. But I will see you guys next time for, I don't know, whatever the future holds. I love you guys.
All right.
And I'll catch you.
I love you too, man. All right,
Bye.
I'll see you later. Okay, so that went pretty well. That was basically what I figured was going to be said and whatnot. I'm going to tell you guys a quick story about when I rode Diamondback at Kings Island for the first time. When I first got on Kings Island's Diamondback, It was said to be one of the biggest roller coasters, one of the biggest hills in the world at the time. And my heart was in my throat. I sat on this thing. I never talked back to anybody. I remember when they put that snake head over my stomach. I looked down at it. I looked back up at the person, and I'm like, is this really it? And they smiled at me and said, yep. And I just looked at my mom, and I'm like, I'm ready to just walk off this thing. I was peer pressured into doing it by my class. They were all like, oh, yeah, you should definitely do it and whatnot. And I'm just sitting there, you know, sweating and everything. I'm scared half to death. And we're going up this hill, and I start literally grabbing the seat, moving it back and forth to make sure this thing is going to be as sturdy as possible, because in my head I was thinking, when we go down this hill, I'm going to fucking slide out and die. And I immediately started to, after I was shaking it a little bit, I started turning around and I started looking at the people behind me. Again, I'm not a social person, so I started looking at the people behind me for help. I was like, you know, looking at them with the most concerned eyes, like, you know, get me off this thing right now, please. Like, just grab me and start throwing me to the back of it, and then I'll just, you know, throw me back onto the platform. And the guys behind me were like, oh, don't worry about it, man. You're going to be okay. It's all good. Don't. But my heart was in my throat. I was barely hearing what they were saying. It was just, my fear was at an all-time high in that moment. And I started to think of the worst case of scenarios. And I just thought I was going to die by the end of it. And when finally we got down the hill, it was actually really fun. But the buildup was so insane for me. Yeah, fear had a huge part to play in why my mind was going everywhere. And it can definitely do it to you. I'm not saying that's what happened to Juicy, but I do think it is important to at least acknowledge that this was built up the entire time. Again, I'm not saying it was, you know, not paranormal. I'm not saying that. I believe in the paranormal myself, but I'm also somebody who also wants to throw in some of the more reasonable things too, like paranoia. But definitely a scary thing to be put into. I couldn't imagine what that must have been like. I really can't. I'm sure that even me in that situation would probably have done similar things, if not actually gotten up and tried to walk out of the basement. So, you know, kudos to him for doing it. And thank you guys for recommending the video to me, of course. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Go support the original video. Make sure you do that. Give him a lot of love, a lot of support. Really, really cool stuff to hear your personal thoughts on the matter. But until next time, guys, please do take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. We're almost to 40,000 subscribers. You guys are just beasts. So until next time, do take care.
If you can't, can't speak, can't through.